Welcome back, everyone. Today we will be looking at the 1/4 scale no nonsense red from our hobby Sakura, and also the 1/4 scale Cinderella from hobby Sakura. I don't know why Cinderella's box is like 3 times the size though. Anyway, we'll jump in with Red Hood and go from there. So, unlike the usual ones I got, clear front so you can actually see the figure. Red Hood on the bottom right there. And then just pictures of the figure as well. Which is always good to see, but at the same time, sort of obvious, because again, see inside. Anyway. This packaging, this one's thankfully smaller. Nice and easy to open. Just in the back of it, just the Nikkei Red Hood logo there. I feel there might have been something there in one of the editions. Like the base. I'm not 100% sure this doesn't come with the base. Maybe it was meant to, who knows. This one definitely didn't. Alright. Just got the tape on that, on the clips, and get this one out. The tape was definitely doing like 99% of the work on this. Now, this one I do believe doesn't have any additional parts, so it's just all one big part. Which, pros and cons. And then I end up with, just a massive pile of packing material. Alrighty, let me just clear up the mess and I'll be back soon. So, first off, very well painted. Nicely done, very well detailed. You've got the injuries on the back of Red Hood's ankles there. Her stepping on her shoes itself, just to avoid the pain. I don't think you could really turn off the paintings. Nikkei, weird. Band-aids as well. The Rapture getting crushed underfoot there. Now, I'm assuming this originally was going to sit into a base in some way, but they just decided not to. Probably because the base did its own job, so yeah. Very well detailed on the gun there. Even with the mushrooms that Red Hood doesn't clean out of her weapon. Face, very nicely detailed with her horn, hair clip, skull embedded things. Whatever they are. And even the chain as well. Very nicely done. But no, it's the sloshing around of the wine glass before she spills it all on herself. So it is a very nicely designed and put together figure. And even the her back horn thing. So very nicely done. It's always harder when there's not many parts because you can go over it, but can't describe them as easily. But yeah. Alright, we will put Red Hood aside and get out Cinderella. Alrighty, so Cinderella's box. I'll have to go up slightly. A lot bigger. Now, this is the premium one, so it does come with glass slippers as well. I don't know if the box changed between the premium and the non-premium. But yeah, let's get this over and get it open. Now, both these again, done by Hobby Sakura. This one's got a lot more layers to it. Alright, and unlike Red Hood, this one actually comes with a base. I have to lower this down again, although I might have to go up again depending on how tall it ends up being. Alright. Pop the outer bits to pack off. Pick up our base first. So, we're all put together. I mean, very straightforward. Weirdly, this is one of the times where it's showing up more impressively on camera than it is in person. Oh, wait, no. There it is. The rainbow effect is really impressive on camera. In person, or at least the angles I'm on, not as impressive. More just straight silver. And also just the electric crystals there. Which looks slightly hollow on the inside. I don't know if that's... You'll see some air bubbles. I don't know if that's intentional or if they were going to put lights in there and decided not to in the end. But yeah, so put the fancy base down. Nothing against Redwood's one, but having bases is just, I don't know, a bit more impressive. Redwood technically has a base, it's all in one. Alright, up next we have Cinderella herself. Now, if you were to get the base version, I'm assuming this is all you would end up getting. Whereas the deluxe one has the additional glass slippers with it. And in terms of getting the plastic off, this is worse than Redwood. There's a lot more I feel can get caught. Which is lovely. I'll say that sarcastically, it is always a nightmare trying to get plastic bags off of fishy strands of hair without getting it damage anything. Especially when her hair goes in every direction. And they use tape. I know the tape's there to keep the thing in check, but thankfully the hair's got a little bit of flex to it. Though it's getting caught on literally everything. Alright, I was about to say that was painful, but we're done. No, one more piece. Alright, so we have Cinderella with her twin tails, her red eyes. No, they did go the effort of painting her second eye. That's actually pretty impressive. Weapons on her wrists there. Her bodysuit, which has done a very good job of showing that it's not just 100%. Well, it is a suit there still, although it's clear. A little skirt there with the logos and text. It is impressive how sturdy her hair does feel, even though it's incredibly long, hanging out there by an absolute mile. Along with her shoes. Yeah, there we go. Around the knees is a bit easier to see. Let me just pick it all up and makes my life easier lining it up. Now this obviously has to be a pretty sturdy rod. And annoyingly, it's one of those ones which it's a snug fit, which makes it getting off at the other end an absolute nightmare. Now that did require a little bit of force. So yeah, very nice. Colour's very striking as well. The silver and the red there. Give me a minute to cut the rest of the tape off the second half of the packaging, and we'll get glass slippers out. We'll do the small one first. Alright, so it comes with two forms of glass slippers in their defensive and offensive form. So this is the defensive form glass slippers. So very basic. So obviously it's closed mounting spot for it. And yeah, essentially sort of rivetish sort of spots, mounting spots, bolt spots, and just sort of a gradient of paint. Now, I'll put that one down for a second. I was expecting the bases to be made out of the same plastic, but they've got the same mirror sort of rainbow effect, but they are weighted. Comes with the rods. Rod goes in, hopefully, and then glass slippers goes on the back there. There we go, no, that's it. So, the idea I think being, you can have it off the back and have glass slippers floating behind Cinderella. Now, I'm not too sure if there's a specific orientation. There you go, it's not a different height, it's not a different angle. Now, the other ones, again, weighted base, but with the 3 panels. A slightly different locking shape as well. I think the other ones lock into these. Also, the tiles are obviously very reminiscent of Old Tales side story. Now, as for the active ones, they're a lot bigger and more detailed. So what came off was this. I think, yes, no, it wasn't meant to come off. The glue's gone on it. But thankfully it's just the glue that's broken, so I'll fix that later. That's what it looks like underneath though, in case you don't want to break your own one and find out what it looks like. So again, the patterns and just the dots for the text obviously, and it's going to be too small to read it anyway. That's how it looks when it's on and not fallen off. From the front, you can see the mirrors themselves are out. The mirrors are obviously all out. The symbol, which is very reminiscent of Cinderella being in a coffin, is visible, along with all the sort of more of the internal workings. Very impressive. Now, I think this one is the right base. Maybe, maybe not. No, that appears to lock into place there properly. So again, sits there with glass slippers flying off to the side. So just as a side thing, I'm packing up, and the other clip also fell off. So just as a side thing, everything's very well done except for the glue that's holding these on. And I'm assuming it's just due to the fact that it seems to be just the paint failed. So yeah, just a heads up on that. I'll use some super glue or something to put it back together again. You know, just a side note. Yeah. So you go down to the base. Yep. You go down to the base there, you can sort of see it. But not for the race section. It'll all line up, big platform. Makes for a very impressive display. Takes up quite a lot of space, mainly because it's got a lot of openness to it. But no, 2 very impressive figures. There is one thing I want to try and do now, seeing as I have them. Back in a sec. Anachiro / Cinderella against the wall. Red shoes. With her gun drawn. Not the same scale, so Rapunzel off in the distance. She's just further away, along with Scarlet. Again, further away. And Snow White. They haven't released a good Snow White figure yet. There we go. With Snow White. And even further away was Dorothy, who was definitely mopping. Just to add insult to injury for Anachiro. Well, yeah. A little fun at the end. Probably should have lowered it to begin with, honestly. They're further away. And definitely 2 of those are definitely Dorothy and Snow White. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.